Scott, possible last home series of the weekend. Don't know. Need some help from some other teams in the NCHC. But how are you guys feeling? How are you guys feeling coming off that big win at Denver Saturday? Was that a pretty big boost for the guys?
Of course,
they put up 6 goals, but then played pretty good defense the last game. That's all.
Of course it was. You know, thought we played pretty well Friday, except for that stretch we talked about. You know, where we could extend. You know, got a lead, and we let our power play an opportunity on Friday, right, to at least even the game or take a lead, and we didn't score. And the power play came through big time on Saturday. And I just thought our guys came out. I thought we had a good first period. I thought we were, you know, defensively we were better. Second period was a lot of penalties. I mean, but we capitalized on some shots and opportunities, and I was just hoping to get through that first power play of theirs, not to give them any life, but that didn't happen. And I thought our guys bent a little bit, you know, but then obviously Benny's goal was a big goal, kind of settled us down again. Thought we finished the game well.
That last 11, this would be 11:30 or 11:38 or whatever it was, that they pulled back within one there. What did you see out of your team that allowed them to close out that win against Denver? What did you really like about those last?
Well, the 6th goal was important, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they had all the momentum, right? They were coming, and I didn't have a timeout because I used it in the second period. Otherwise, I probably would have tried to slow things down, but just got to weather that stuff. We knew it was coming. We knew they were going to make a strong push, especially, you know, their team, right? I thought they were frustrated a little bit at the end of the second period. I didn't like the penalty call. They made us pay and they got momentum, but I thought the 6th goal shortly after that settled everybody down, and, you know, got the 2-goal lead back. And even though they got the 1 back, I thought we closed the game out pretty well.
So it's even from before they got that their 5th goal.
Yeah, I thought, we needed something, right? You know, that was a big power play, given the way the game was, and to score on that fairly quickly, I think really settled us down, because I thought that stretch there was, they were coming. They were throwing everything, right? They were stretching guys, their D were involved. They were playing like Denver plays, and up until that point, I thought we did a good job nullifying a lot of that stuff. But that's how those teams are, right? And, you know, you hope your team, you know, get the momentum, you start going and you feel it. And they weren't doing anything really fancy. I mean, we turned the puck over. You know, you look at the 4th goal, an opportunity to get the puck out. We didn't do it, you know. So we didn't help the cause, but the 6th goal was important.
You feel more confident, better about these guys' ability to close out wins? I mean, we had talked about there were times this season where that was a tough part.
I
don't know yet. We'll find out as we're
yeah, we'll take it game by game, right?
Almost shoot by shoot.
That too.
You had it, but in hindsight, you kind of not glad you didn't have it, just you saw your team grow and go.
I wish I would have had it, I'll be honest with you, but I felt at the time in the second period, it was like, when I did call it, those guys were tired, and I didn't want to give, you know, again, you don't want to give a team any momentum going in the third. I didn't know we were going to get a penalty power play, or give them a power play, but I would have done that again. But it would have been nice to have that, just to, you know, try and slow them down a little bit. But we didn't, so our guys had to find a way. And like I said, the 6th goal on the power play was big. It was big.
Did you feel like your group was maybe getting a little rattled after that 4th goal? And
yeah, I did a little bit, Bruce. Yeah, you know, I think we were scrambly, and, you know, just needed some line to go out there and try and settle it down. But it's hard, man. It's hard when teams like that get rolling, right? That's where you need big saves, or you just need a line to go and play in their end, or put a couple shifts together.
Feels like Carter, I think, was the guy that drew an offensive zone penalty that like the Benny scoring that goal. It's a young guy making a veteran play in the defensive zone, winning the battle, and getting a position to draw a penalty. And it's a young guy in Ben Steve scoring a big goal for you.
Yep. No, I mean, it was, like I said, I challenged the power play a little bit the day before, because I thought we could have been better, and they came through for us, and obviously Ben was a big part of that power play. I mean, that first unit, so. Yeah, I mean, timely goals, right? Timely goals.
A little weird, you see Miami the first time this season.
Mhm.
Speaking of thoughts on a Miami team that's struggling for wins, but the last couple of weekends they played, they play a lot better.
Again, every time we've played them, they've played us tough, every time, Going back to last year, we had 4 tough games with them. Didn't fare very well the last game, so they'll be ready. We need to be ready, and hopefully we are, because nothing's easy in this league every weekend, right? They go into St. Cloud, play them tough. Last week, and they played Omaha tough. They're good. They're a good team. And then, again, every time we've played them, we've had a battle, and so I don't expect anything different.
Other things, Chris Bergeron, even going back to what he said, Bowling Green gave you guys that run the NCAA tournament, the first round game there. Are there like keys for Chris's teams that stand out?
They play hard. I mean, his teams have always played hard. They play physical. They play in your face. I mean, do a lot of pressure with 2-man, and again, they got some bigger bodies, and they got some talented players. Savage is a good hockey player. Barbolini. I mean, they've got good players. And they've lost some really tight games, and they've had some games where no coach wants, but it doesn't matter right now. We've got to play our game, and we've got to be ready to play. And if we're not, we won't win.
Yeah, anything on injuries as far as Spicer is concerned this weekend?
He should be available.
There
No. Minor stuff, but they should all be ready to go. At least all available.
They're weird that it's taken this long in the season to see Miami, but your thoughts on seeing your old team and teammates again, since you don't get to go back to Oxford as Bulldog.
Yeah, no, it'll definitely be weird. One of my roommates last 3 years, Jack Holmes, said he's been in and out of the lineup, and he just texted me that he's making the trip. So no, it'll definitely be weird playing against some of my really good buddies and some guys I played with for 3 years there.
How much do you follow and pay attention to them this year?
Yeah, no, like I said, a lot of them are like my really good friends, and I lived with a couple of the guys, Olmstead and Cassetti, for 3 years. So, my really good friends, and no, I definitely keep up with them and see how they're doing. They're in our league, so that definitely helps, and see the scores and stuff like that, and follow along. But it'll definitely be weird to see them and play against my former team.
Coach Sandlin mentioned that it doesn't matter where Miami's been in the standings, that they've always played the Bulldogs really tough. And I think back to Coach Bergeron, even when he was at Bowling Green, he almost knocked UMD out of the NCAA tournament in the first round, 1919.
Yeah, they won the year to lose.
Yeah. What is it about Coach Bergeron's coaching style that can make Miami a top team to play against, even in a year like this where wins have been hard for them to come by, but they play teams really tough?
Yeah, no, I think UMD was always a good matchup for us. We always gave them a pretty good time. I think last year we beat them twice. So no, I mean, I don't know what the matchup is, but for a team like Miami, they get up playing the top teams. Like it's fun to play some of the better teams where, when you're looking at a team and they're down in the standings, maybe some teams look over them and focus on the games coming ahead, or they might think it's point night. So it makes it a little bit easier for a team like that. Obviously, that's something that we don't want to do, and we're trying to focus on not overlooking them because they are a good team, and they have played Duluth very tough in the past years. I know their goalies played very well against Duluth in the past too. I think last year he had like a 50 save shutout or something. So that's one thing we definitely got to get to him early.
Defend that win against Denver on Saturday, the defensemen were pretty active in the offensive effort. What was the key to that allowed you guys to get pucks through and get involved offensively and really kind of spark the offense, get it going?
Yeah, no, I think Denver kind of plays that open style, so it's a little bit easier when it's more of a run and gun game and it's back and forth trading chances. So I think that's a little bit easier because they have some guys who can really score, and their D get up in the play too. So, when it's a little bit more offensive game, I think it's a little bit easier for the D to contribute offensively.
So you guys were seeing there were some lanes and chances for you guys. It was a little easier actually for you guys to get pockets to the net, you think?
Yeah, I thought so. Denver too, in their defensive zone coverage, their wingers get really, really low, like lower than your average team. So I think when we went low to high, we had a little bit more time and space than usual.
That's not going to be there against Miami this week.
No, Miami's wingers play very high, so it'll be pretty opposite.
Are there ways though that you guys can still defensively? Because it seems like that's been key to some big goal outbursts this weekend. Is the defenseman getting pucks through and forwards having a chance in front of the net? Are there things you guys can do against a team like that, Miami, when they play like that?
Yeah, definitely. I think every team has defensive zone breakdowns, and a team like Miami is susceptible to that. We can definitely make some plays in the offensive zone. We have a lot of guys that make plays and are high caliber offensive players. So, just if they're able to beat a guy coming out of the corner, then the wingers might have to help out and they can get the puck back to the D. Or there's always a way for the D to contribute, even when the wingers are high, things like that. You can dive down, things like that. So.
Were you on the ice when Tanner ate that puck on the wall for about 35 seconds? It felt like a power play.
Yeah, I was out there for that. It was kind of crazy that I think it might have been Devine. He was like stomping on Tanner. So he broke Tanner's stick. There was like fiberglass in the corner, just all over the ice because he was just stomping on his stick. But yeah, no, I was out there for that. It was actually pretty crazy because I remember going into the pile and like there was like 35 seconds left on the kill. And when we came out of the pile, there was no time left on the kill. So it was pretty crazy.
You guys, Crosby wasn't in Denver, but he worked with the PK, over Zoom or something like that? Talk to you guys?
He met with us before we left, and then
Okay.
Chupper handled it while we were in Denver.
What were some of the adjustments you guys were able to make? The PK I thought was a big, it almost gets overlooked because of all the goals and the key power play goal and stuff, but you guys only gave up one goal on a pair of 5-minute majors. What was the key for the PK to bend but not break?
I think it's been like our structure, and we really worked on like the two forwards, like staying more connected and not giving up chances. So we really harped down on video last week with some of the errors that we'd made in the past. And no, I think, a little bit of the PK is, a little bit of luck here and there. Like we weren't getting bounces in some weekends where I think this past weekend in Denver, we got some of those bounces. I think they hit a post or two, and we had some key blocks as well.
So you've been exchanging texts with some of your old buddies. Has it been cordial, or has there been a little trash talk in there? Or is
It's all been pretty friendly. Obviously there's some trash talk, and we won't be friends come game time. But no, like I said, I lived with a couple of those guys for 3 years. I played with the senior class there and some of the other guys for 2-3 years as well. So like I said, some of those guys are my really good friends and things like that. But like in junior, I was traded and played against my former team. So it's not something that's new to me, and won't be any friendships out there on the ice come game time.
Have you accidentally texted the wrong group chat at all?
No, I haven't texted the wrong group chat. No.
Since we don't go back to Oxford, Skyline Chili, your thoughts?
The only time I've ever had Skyline Chili is we do like a hot dog eating contest. And that was the only time I'd ever tried it. For me, the fast food chili doesn't really sit well with me. To have chili that sits in a giant pot and it gets consumed throughout the day is something that was kind of weird for me. But the people that are from that area like swear by it. It's the craziest thing. Like my billet mom in Chicago was from Cincinnati, and she like told me like before I went to Miami, like that Skyline's like the best place ever. And then like the people that are from Cincinnati like literally will die for it. It's kind of crazy. And then there's actually another one too. I think it's called like Gold Star or something. And it's another fast food chili place, and like the people like rival. It's kind of like a Chick-fil-A, like it's like a battle where they argue with which one's better, but there's not I think the closest Gold Star is like 15 minutes away from campus. But I know there's people like that were in my classes that like swear by the Gold Star and will only go there and won't go to Skyline. But
So you're not requesting anyone to bring the Kansas Skyline Chili?
no, if anything, maybe a bagel from Bagel and Deli.
There we go. Could be your last home weekend. What weird to think about that?
Yeah, it's kind of bittersweet. Obviously it was my senior year last year. Didn't know what my future held, but obviously happy to be back. And yeah, it's kind of a crazy ride, but I loved every moment playing here. I'm excited to play.
You and Tanner started a lot of penalty kills lately. What's that been like? That's a lot of trust to go up. Your job there is to win that draw and get that puck out immediately and get a good start.
Yeah, obviously the penalty kill is a big part of our game. Last weekend we took 2 big penalties, 5 minutes, But yeah, I think Tanner and I have done a pretty good job this year so far on the PK. But yeah, it starts with the face-off. Can definitely start winning more of those. That help. But yeah, structurally, I feel like we do a very good job, and just Tanner and I know kind of how we play. So I just feel like we kind of just read off each other and we do well.
You ever see a guy eat a puck on the wall for as long as he did Saturday?
No, I thought that was kind of funny actually. I didn't know if I should go in or not, but he held it there pretty good.
What's that like, that willingness? I mean, that he's taking a beating over there doing that. That's not easy. And to have a guy willing to do that, your captain willing to do that, set an example for as long as he did to finish off a big penalty kill in the second period.
Yeah, no, that was huge in that game, especially. Yeah, he's our captain, leader, pays the price. Kind of just plays his role on the PK. Yeah, but no, yeah, he's been exceptional. He's done a really good job.
Talk a little bit about this weekend in whole. Your guys are at home, the women are at home, the high school hockey tournaments are at home. State girls is down in the Twin Cities. Just talk about what this, weekend means for hockey, but especially having so many games at Amsoil Arena. Yeah, hockey is obviously big on here. I grew up in Hermantown, so it's a great spot for hockey. Yeah, I mean, good luck to the girls playing down at the X. I think that's gonna be a absolute blast. But yeah, I remember section finals, all the section playoffs. Playing here at Amsoil, that was always a lot of fun. So good luck to those teams. Lots of good memories for sure in that. So yeah, I miss those days, but I gotta kind of focus on my last, which will probably be my last weekend here at home. Just got to try to cherish it.
Have you thought about it much? Just all the time that you put in, being from Hermantown to Blue, just this last it could be the last ride putting on the jersey here.
It hasn't really registered yet. I think it's going to take some time, but yeah, like I said, it's very cool to have played for your hometown and just play in front of your friends and family. I think that's going to be a thing that'll stick with me for a long time. I appreciate everything, being a Bulldog. So, I mean, there's not much more I can say about that, but yeah, I'm just really excited for this weekend.
Do you have like a favorite Amsoil moment, whether it was in high school or college, now that perhaps it might be your last?
Yeah, I'd say high school, the section championships, we always did pretty well in those. And I got pretty lucky getting some decent amount of points in those. Yeah, and then in college, obviously my first game, that was big, a lot of goosebumps, jitters. I thought that was pretty cool. And I mean, even like this year, I think this weekend's going to be a blast. Just how excited I'm going to be. I'm looking forward to it.
Jesse, think back to your time in high school. Was that first time going out there on that ice as a high school player in a section semifinal game? What is that experience like for somebody that age to go out there, all the bells and whistles they put into those games?
I'd say it's kind of similar to us playing at the college level, going to the XL in a way. But yeah, 17, 18 years old, getting to play at Amsoil, it'd give you an extra boost. I remember us guys, me, Ryan, Cole, back in the day, we loved playing here. It was an absolute blast.
Who had the best hair of that group?
Me, I definitely had the best hair. I had the big red flow.